Welcome back to the podcast. I have such a special guest in with me today. I'm so excited to have Trisha McHale, psychotherapist, in with me, chatting and answering the questions I asked my fellow thrivers and some listeners to give me some questions to put it to Trisha, and in this episode she answers them and we have such fun and we have such a laugh. I love Trisha so much. She's fantastic at what she does, and I hope you get so much out of this episode. If you're feeling stuck in old patterns, if you're feeling stuck in your old ways that you don't want to be stuck anymore, you're thinking, I'm done, now what? Then this episode is for you. Yes, I brought the podcast title into what I'm chatting to you. Woohoo! So, Trisha, for those of you that don't know her, she's been in the podcast a few times. She's a psychotherapist and she's also the manager of Mind and Body Works. She went into partnership with them. They are a counselling and psychotherapy centre based in Galway and Dublin. They have three therapy centres. Galway, Dublin. They have a team of over 50 psychotherapists and psychologists who work with adults, couples, adolescents and children. And they offer a wide range of therapies, including CBT, EMDR and art therapy. And they also run a low-cost counselling service. I have to contact Trisha at the end of this. I have all her details in the show notes. So grab a cup of tea, or if you're driving, I hope you enjoy it. This is a great episode. I got so much from it. I hope you do too. Let me know if you enjoyed it and you want Trisha back on the show. Okay? All my love, enjoy the show. How are you, Trisha? It's good to have you on the podcast.
I'm good, thanks, Jessica. It's lovely to be here. Thank you for having me.
The last time I saw you was in Westport doing Sea to Summit.
That's
31
right.
kilometres, 4
Absolutely.
kilometre, two 4 kilometre runs, two 11 kilometre cycles, mostly running up Croagh Patrick almost to the top of Croagh Patrick and back. So cool. You're absolute legend. How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel delighted to have done it. It was probably went into it blind, not knowing what to expect, which is always the best way for me. I really, really enjoyed it. It was such a great experience and such a great, I don't know, there was something so fabulous about the whole couple of days that we were there, from meeting all the other thrivers, having the chats, meeting up in the morning and taking it on, which was, I just loved it. It was hard, but I think we all felt such a sense of accomplishment and achievement at the end.
Yeah, I still feel
It
so
was
amazing
really special.
afterwards. So special.
It really was. And I have, done stuff before, which always felt like a real slog. Parts of it were actually really enjoyable. I loved the cycling, so I'm definitely going to get myself a bike, and
that's really cool.
On my Christmas list.
Would you do it again?
Oh, I definitely do it again.
Would you?
Definitely.
Would you? Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Such a good sign.
And yeah. I would absolutely recommend to anybody that is thinking about it to do it. I just can't. You can't put into words how powerful it is to do it, and how you feel afterwards about accomplishing it. It was amazing.
Yeah. Shout out to our fellow thrivers who did it with us.
100%, and shout out to you for encouraging us all to do it. And believing in us to do it, because you need to, I guess you need that push to say you're all right, you can do it. Until the self-belief comes in.
Yeah. It really puts the year on the map, doesn't it? Like for me, it puts the year on the map. Like when I look back at my year, always around this time, I was like, what are the tangible things that I did? And it's so tangible getting that medal in the hand. It's just so lovely to go, well, I did this, and forevermore, you'll remember it, hopefully.
Absolutely. No, it was. It is a tangible thing, and it is something that makes you feel like, actually, I have made a lot of gains in terms of my fitness, and in terms of self-belief. I think for all of us, that we could do it, even if we were nervous about doing it, that we could actually do it, and that we all finished it and we all crossed the line and we were all delighted.
Yeah, totally. I love having you on the podcast so much. It's been so long. This reminds me of COVID. I feel like it's been so long since I had you on the podcast, and I feel like we've both grown so much even since then. Like for me, I was just joking with you before we came on air about how I used to like read off all the things about you. Now I'm so professional. I have it all done in advance. It's gas. It's so good to have you on. We're going to do a little
Yeah,
bit differently today. So it's going to be like ask Trisha, chat with Trisha. We're going to ask you questions. I've asked some thrivers, all thrivers actually, to if they had any questions that they want me to put to you. So I thought I'm going to ask you these questions and then we
great.
can chat through. You can give some advice to our listeners. Is that okay?
Perfect.
And just to
Perfect.
be clear, Trisha hasn't seen actually any of these questions before
Yeah, so
we came on
I hope
air.
they're not too hard.
I was just about to, and then I was like, what am I doing? Why am I overcomplicating this chat? Just
Yeah.
press record. So first question. I keep saying I'll get healthy. I'll exercise, I'll cut down on the wine, and then I have it all sabotaged by Thursday. Why do I keep doing this to myself?
Um, I think it's an interesting one. I think we can all relate to the self-saboteur with this within us. And I think personally, um, and from working with people over the years, there the the fear of the unknown is, I think, something that really unconsciously affects us. So if I in our everyday lives we're kind of doing the same thing, we keep going the same way, and there's comfort in that, and there's comfort in familiarity in life. Um, if you decide to shake things up and make a bit of a change in your life, you're stepping out of comfort zones and you're stepping into places that you may not have been. You may have been there before and you may have failed. So you may already have that unconscious bias towards failure that this is always the way it goes for me. I will start something, I'm really good at doing it, and then uh, I'll give it up after a week. So either you're setting yourself up from the start with an expectation that you're going to fail,
Mm.
or else, which is one that doesn't often occur to us, we get afraid about what we're capable of. And I guess there's a part even in kind of doing that seed to summit or anything that, um, I know myself, and I've said it to you before, I will do 10 minutes exercise rather than 20 because 20 is harder. Um, and there's a block about pushing yourself somewhere that is unfamiliar and out of your comfort zone. And I guess the feeling of what am I capable of if I keep pushing through? How far can I go? Um, a
Why
lot. Yeah, sorry, go ahead,
why are we
Jessica.
afraid of that? Why are we afraid of what we're capable of?
It's a very interesting kind of conundrum that occurs in our lives because if you actually really step into your own power, then you essentially can achieve anything you want. And I don't mean that in a facile way. I don't mean in a kind of and then I can change my job and move house or whatever. But you can. And I guess we put a lot of blockers in our way in all areas of our life. In terms of limitations, I'm only this, I can't do that. You know, I couldn't change jobs. What would happen if A, B, C, D, and E? And I'm not saying that these things aren't valid for us, but they are blockers in order to limit our potential. So if we keep falling back to the familiar is more comfortable. Change is difficult. If change was easy, we would all be changing all the time. Change takes grit, determination, motivation, a lot of hard work, and also a stepping into your own power and looking at yourself and saying, wow, I really am capable of so much. And that is a scary place to be because so many of us have imposter syndrome in all areas of our lives. So I think to keep pushing forward, um, I guess in the way that you would use an example of yourself in terms of just making big changes in your life and sticking to them, giving up alcohol, eating healthily, exercising every day. Um, you just did it. for years you went back and forth until one day you decided to do it. But that
Mm.
doesn't mean that that was an easy thing to do, or that was kind of, that took a lot of years of kind of trying to work with yourself on your own self-saboteur, and and then stepping into your power and saying, "Oh, here I am. I've done it, and I actually am so much happier." And then from that, other areas in your life can change as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't think enough people, I've just realized myself recently, and I've started talking about this more on my Instagram, but nobody talks about how hard it is. And
yes,
like, I work with so many women that always tell me how much they're failing and how bad they are at it,
yes,
because I've actually come to realize that everybody is making it out like what the decision is the hardest part and
absolutely.
then doing it is easy. It's actually really fucking hard.
Absolutely. It's
Really
so
hard.
difficult, and it's so difficult to make changes. Like, because in a lot of our lives, you're living in an environment, a family environment. You're not only having to make changes for yourself, you're having to maybe make changes in your household, and maybe you're having to um, get people to take you seriously, and
Yeah.
get people to work alongside you, and get people to come on board with you, and not and kind of be a little bit kind of, look, you can do this, and not allow you to self-sabotage, or not help you with the self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Um, and I think, and then it is bloody hard. Life gets in the way. You have a shit day at work. You have a terrible week. Habits are formed. You come to a Friday, you feel, oh, I just treat myself. And we often use food and drink to treat ourselves, to
Yeah.
make ourselves feel better. So it is very, very difficult. And there is such a thing as kind of like, when people say try and imagine yourself in that place. I do feel that it's very difficult, if you've struggled for years with things, to imagine yourself in a different place.
Really.
You know, yes, absolutely. So, I've seen it happen with previous clients of mine, that if you move into an acceptance that this part of my life is not working for me,
Yeah.
you have to have the awareness first. I accept that this part of my life isn't working for me. I want something to change. If you move into awareness, then all that's left is, okay, so who's going to change it? Only me. So that's where the fear starts. So there's nobody else that's going to change this, only me. There's nobody else that's going to stop putting blockers in my way. There's nobody else who is going to have to work hard at it, only me. Um, and again, I just think it's a very difficult thing to do, to make changes. Very, very difficult. Um, as I say, if change was easy, we'd all be doing it. We would be just changing everything all the time.
Yeah, but that's why it's so good to chat to you, because I really feel this is like knowledge is power, and knowing all this and knowing the feelings that are bubbling up that are all really normal and part of your path is so good to know. So good to
Yeah,
know. It's so helpful. Like, oh, it is hard. That's okay. Oh, I will have to make all these changes, and horrible stuff is going to bubble up, and maybe I'm going to start rowing with everybody around me because they're used to having me a certain way, and now I'm going to be a different way, which happened to me. Me and Joe like rowed so much, but I'm so glad we did now. When I was changing, oh my God, we rowed
yeah,
so much. We just couldn't find our frequency, and now we have a new one, thankfully, and it's way better. Thankfully, I can only
ab-
imagine what it would be like if it wasn't, but yeah, I mean, you did
absolutely.
go through the
The
steps.
the 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 you know you build up dynamics in your life with all your relationships, within your families, your friendships, whatever. Once you start making changes, it's not comfortable for other people as well as being uncomfortable for you. If you start saying, these are the changes I'm going to make, and that might be food and drink, and then it might be boundaries, and it might be saying no to people, and it might be, um, those things are not easy. And
Mm,
people will rail against that. Nobody is feeling, you know, I want this person to change. People are quite happy with the status quo.
mm,
Um,
yeah.
So, that can make it very difficult as well.
Yeah. So, dear listener, keep going. We've got your back. We know what it's like. Keep going through the
Yes.
shits.
Absolutely. And you may fall off, and you just get back up again.
Get the
And
fuck
you
back
just
up.
may keep falling off, and you may just have to keep getting back up again. There's nothing linear in life. There's nothing linear. Um, you know, things happen, things get in the way. You can fail and you can try again, you know.
Yes.
But and also you can really you can really allow yourself to imagine how it would be for you if you step into your own power
Yes.
in any area of your life. Um, when we move out of victim to actually stepping into your own power, it's a very scary place. Um, it means that we take on parts of our persona which we mightn't be comfortable with.
Mm.
Uh, we may be a people pleaser, we may be a fawner, we may be, a yes person. Um, we may want to be liked by people. It can be very difficult to move into those parts of ourselves that actually say, me first, or, me first.
Oh, jeepers. I want to move on, but you said something there. I'm like, oh, I hope I'm not like that. What's the difference between a people pleaser and a fawner?
Fawning is a response. Fawning is a learned response. You know, the kind of fight or flight response.
Yeah.
When something happens in life, fawning is one of the F's. It's one of those learned responses we have from childhood. In order to keep the peace, I will be the fawner. So I will. I won't fight and I won't flee. I'll stay here and try and smooth things over. So it's very similar to people pleaser, but it can be a very automatic, unconscious response. So it can be a response that means, oh, I didn't ring that person. I wonder if they'll get mad at me now if I don't ring them. I might just have to check in and ring them. We can be very automatically fawning over people in this
Mm.
kind of very unconscious, almost childlike place of, smooth things over. If I know that that person is okay with me, then I'll be okay.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, yes, if you think somebody's
Yes.
annoyed with you and you say like,
Oh,
"Oh, I love your top" or whatever,
exactly.
that's fawning.
Yes, fawning is the over complimenting and the over extension of yourself, which is not the real self. It's a learned part, which becomes an automatic kind of part of ourselves, which is like make everybody else feel good, make the atmosphere feel nice, and therefore I will feel more comfortable. Um, yeah,
Okay. Okay. Thanks for sharing. I think you're going to really like this one. It was a bit of a change in direction. This is from one of our thrivers, actually. It
yeah,
came in this morning. Okay. How do I talk to my adult children? So this is what she has written in her own words.
yes.
I'm still their mammy. Now they're in their 20s and 30s. How can I move to having adult conversations? A bit less of, are you taking vitamins? What's going on for you? Listening to or solving their problems, to what's going on for us, noticing me. Hope this makes sense.
So, what's going on for us? Do you think that is what's going on for us in relationship with each other?
Yeah, so moving more towards having adult conversations
Yeah,
and being less of a mammy and more of a
yeah,
like you and me together, noticing me, what's going on for us.
yes, absolutely. It's an interesting one because when our kids are growing up, we don't expect our kids to be interested in our lives or anything about us. They look at us as almost kind of like, people who bring them to school, bring them home, provide food for them. They're not really that interested in us as people or and I guess they're not supposed to be. They don't develop empathy until they're uh, some may say 25 is the new 18 when people reach adulthood. Now, our adolescent therapists work with people up to the age of 25 as adolescents,
Wow.
which people find hard to believe. But the developing brain, they used to say 23 was the end of development, but it's actually now they're saying 25. So we're expecting, I guess, if we get resentful of our kids not being interested in us, we're expecting a level of empathy that they may not be capable of. But the biggest thing I think that is missing is um, opening dialogue that asks them a question. Um, we're so used to directing. Have you done this? Are you home safe? Did you do this? Have you that we don't open dialogue with them. Um, and you know, we don't open dialogue, and then we'll rush in with questions like how did last night go? Did you see the lads? Did you go out with this? Like where they're just not in that place with us. Um, I found with my son what worked was opening dialogue in the car when he wasn't looking at me, when he was sitting alongside me, and we're both looking out the window, where you're opening dialogue where things are not as intense. Um, but I feel what works best is trying to do something a little bit out of the house, out of the ordinary, going out for coffee, going shopping, doing something that is not too intense, and starting to open up a dialogue which brings yourself more into the dialogue. Um, so, does that make any sense?
Mm.
Like, instead
Yeah.
of directing the other, you're opening up something that's saying, um, something about bringing yourself into the conversation. Um,
Yeah.
whether it's talking about something that's of interest to both of you outside, like it could, for some people, it might be sport, for some people, it might be politics, trying to find the common ground to
Mm.
open up. But the biggest thing, the biggest part of it is looking back internally and saying, what's the need in me? What's the need in me to mother, smother, control my kids into adulthood? What am I afraid of if I'm letting go of those parts? You know, what am I afraid of in terms of developing a relationship that is more an equal relationship? What am I afraid of in letting them see me as a real person?
Mm. Yeah.
Because, you know, if I think about my own parental relationship with my own parents, um, it took a lot of years, um, and probably only in the last 5 or 10 years for that relationship to get to a place. Um, because you know, if I was to go to Dublin, my mother would spend her whole time worrying about me getting to Dublin in the car. Are you driving? Could you not get the train? Could you not? So unable to let go and see me as an autonomous adult, still in my 50s. Are you doing this? Are you cold enough? Are you warm enough? If I go to the house, do you want slippers? Do you want this? Do you want that? Um, so when we don't allow the other to be an adult, they can't all see us as an adult either. They
Wow.
just see us as mother, you know?
Yeah.
So they don't see you as a person. They just see you as mother because you have decided what the mothering role is and you keep playing that role. The mothering role is to worry, be anxious, feed, and not allow you to individuate.
Mm.
Um, so once you decide that you're going to allow your kids to individuate, make their own mistakes, very difficult thing to do. Stand back and move out. Um, you can allow them to be an adult that also sees you as another adult, and then the commonality of life is what will bring you together, not the mother-child relationship.
Well, thanks for sharing that. I really resonated with the bit in a different context, though, about not being face to face. Like, I know
Yeah,
when me and Joe were going through our stuff, I found it so much more relaxing to go for a walk or chat in the car rather than like meet face to face. Yeah, it's a lovely idea. Much
yeah.
more relaxing. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that. I know she's going to appreciate that so much. Okay, so I think we have time for one more. So where did it go? I struggle to get into a good routine. Everything else comes first. I want to be fit and healthy, but I can't seem to get up in the morning. I actually hear that so much because every single woman that comes into Thrive Academy wants to be fit and healthy. Like really, like we joked so much about this in the in-person mastermind that like I read all these amazing, when people come in, you know, the way they write their avatars, like I want to be fit and healthy for my adult children or for my grandkids. I want to like go traveling around the world and hike. And they have these amazing goals. And then like a week later, their intentions are so strong, but just can't seem to get into a good routine.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so annoying when that happens. It's so annoying when the intention is genuinely there, but they cannot seem to break free. And I know it's kind of a little bit similar to question one, but you know, also a little bit different.
Well, you know, it resonates so much with me because I am not a morning person. I'm not. Completely not. And I never, ever would exercise in the morning. So I will say that after years of being told that the best time to exercise is in the morning and just get it up and get it done and get it, you know, before you start the day and for no way. Completely wrecked, resentful, wrecked, dragging myself around, feeling I actually feel more tired now. So my suggestion to myself with compassion has been do it at lunchtime. Do it in the afternoon. Put on your workout gear in the morning. I go for my walk. I try and do my exercises after the walk. It doesn't always happen. I have my workout gear on, but I have stopped squeezing myself into the should be's of what I should be doing. I will.
Nobody talks about how shit, like the reality of getting up early, like of how
if I see
shit.
people, including yourself, Jessica, which I think is amazing, walking in the dark. I think I saw it, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? What time? What time was that? Are you out walking up there in the dark? Joking me? No way." And my first cup of coffee is always in bed. So I feel, stop creating avatars that are impossible. Just say, with self-compassion, I'm going to do it at lunchtime, or I'm going to get up, I'm going to have my breakfast, I'm going to have my coffee, I'm going to work for a while, I'm going to take a bit of space, and I'll do it then. I just feel that the shoulds that we put on ourselves, everybody should be getting up in the morning. Everybody, this is the best way to do it. The best way to do it is just do it whenever you can do it.
Yeah.
But I just think having compassion on yourself and, you know, trying to stop going back into that vicious cycle that we all get into, which is, oh, I didn't do it. Once again, I failed. I didn't do it. It's ridiculous. I don't ever do what I say I'm going to do, blah, blah, blah. Rather than I'll just do it. If it's 2 o'clock, I'll do it. If it's 3 o'clock, I'll do it. I'll just do it.
You're stepping into your power there. Sorry, you go.
No, absolutely. Yes.
You're stepping into your power then, because you're just going, fuck this shit. There is no one fits all. That doesn't suit me. There's something, so I find there's something, and I've only been doing this the past 12 months. Nah, doesn't suit me. No thanks, doesn't work. Nah, don't like doing it then. Oh, it's
Absolutely.
so freeing after years of not doing that.
Yeah, because sometimes we can get carried away by you know, everyone will say, you know, I did brilliant this week. I got up in the morning. I did this. I did that. I ate really well. Blah blah blah. And while we are trying to support each other, it sometimes can feel like, oh, maybe I'm out of that loop. Everybody else seems to be in that loop of doing great and not struggling. And I'm out of that loop now. And that just makes me feel worse about myself. Exactly as you say, stepping into your power is about saying, mornings don't work for me. That just doesn't work. It's not going to happen. I can keep saying, I really want to set the alarm. I really want to do it. It's just not going to happen. What is going to happen? You know, my avatar does not have to be me climbing a mountain. It can just be stepping into my workout gear and just doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
stepping into my workout gear and saying, I have my workout gear on. So at some stage I'll be doing it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So your avatar could be I get up at a time I want to, I have a
Yeah.
coffee,
Yes.
have
Yeah.
breakfast, go into work. Fine.
Your avatar, yeah. I mean, this I'm saying this from the privileged position of somebody who works a lot from home. So I'm not saying everybody is able to go into work with their workout gear and be just deciding to nip into a conference room for 20 minutes. But um, I just saying that the pressure that we put on ourselves to achieve, and it goes back to that first thing, pressure, pressure, pressure to achieve. And then we sabotage ourselves and then we feel worse about ourselves. And then we can't get back. And then we're off it for weeks. And then we're afraid to open the laptop and go on, do our exercises because we're so far behind,
Mm,
and so on and so on. And I think part of it is just about saying, um, I'll do it in a way that suits me best.
yeah. Do you think there's anybody well rounded out there? Now, the reason I'm asking this question is
Yeah, yeah.
because I think now, like, I have spent so bloody long on myself, working on myself, and it has
Yes.
been such a hard journey. And I think of all those, I'm trying not to think of it as years wasted because I
Yeah, yeah.
genuinely feel that they haven't been wasted, they're all part of the journey. But does all this shit just come from childhood and then you have to spend years unraveling it? Like, it's so annoying. Like, what the fuck? Is there anybody out there that's just born and is well rounded and
No, no. Well, that's life. As the Buddhists say, life is suffering. We hate hearing that. We expect life to be good and fair and just fantastic. Life is hard. And, there's a huge amount of expectations on ourselves. Like at this stage of my life, at 57, my kids are grown up. Like I have nothing but a husband and a dog, two cats. So I'm from a privileged position of saying, do your exercises at lunchtime. I couldn't do my exercises at lunchtime if I was collecting my kids from school at 2 o'clock. So all stages of your life are going to bring something different. But I guess part of what I've come to realize is, how long do you let it go on before you step into your power? How many more years? And I guess that part of it is how many more years till you step into yourself, stop resenting others for making demands on you, for having so many needs, when perhaps you've created that role for yourself in life. Like, you know, we all create a life, with a lot of shoulds and ways of being that we feel are acceptable to others. The perfect mother, the perfect house, the perfect life, figure, the perfect, job. We create a life that doesn't necessarily make us happy because we move unconsciously through it. And I guess, you know, self awareness to me has brought more happiness internally. I have stopped looking out externally for external happiness. I'm trying very hard to look inwards and try and be satisfied inwardly with myself and what I'm doing. That being said, that's not an easy thing to do, and it doesn't often work. It doesn't often work. It doesn't always work. I when I say it doesn't often work, it does often work. It doesn't always work. I am as crotchety and as annoyed and resentful half the time. So, so there's nobody that ever reaches that transcendent piece of where it's like, oh, I have it figured out. We don't have it figured out. And life is a way of getting in the way and battering us from all sides. And the unexpected can happen to us. And, you know, we can't prepare for things that are going to impact on us. But day to day, I feel it is about trying to live a more conscious life, um, being more conscious inwardly about yourself and who you are as a person and what you want from life. And if you look inward first, you have more to give to others. You have just more capacity, which sounds kind of like, to particularly to mothers, as kind of, what do you mean? It's all about giving and giving and giving. But if you start with yourself, you do find you have more to give to others. If you are more knowledgeable about when you need to rest, when you need to withdraw, when you need to say no, when you need to kind of put yourself first, when you need to look at the self as not being selfish, just look at myself. Um, you know, the self becomes synonymous with selfish. If I look at myself first, that means I'm a selfish person. Rather than, if I look at myself, it means I have more of myself to give when I'm ready to.
Wow. Mic drop. That is extremely powerful. That's incredible. Thank you so, so, so much for such gorgeous words. That's amazing. Thank you. It was so fantastic to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much for
Thanks
coming
so
in.
much for listening to my ramblings,
Oh,
and
it's amazing.
hopefully
As
some of it
always.
is okay. Yeah. Thanks a million, Jessica.
All my love. Bye.
Thanks a million. Bye.
Oh, I so enjoyed that chat with Trisha. I hope you did too. I hope you got so much out of it. If you want to contact Trisha in Mind and Body Works, I've put all her contact details in the show notes. And if you'd like to see more of Trisha on my podcast, if you want to see her having more of a regular slot, let me know. I would love to know. And as always, rate and subscribe to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. All my love. See you on the next one.